guys, so here's part 3 of the 4.9 day 1 notes. Okay, once again, we are graphing quadratic inequality. So what I actually would like you to do is go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and actually graph this quadratic inequality. Okay, let's see how you did here. So we have y is less than negative x squared plus 4x plus 2. Okay, notice here that we are once again in standard form. You really want to know what form you're in because it makes it easier to know, okay, how do I need to find the vertex? Okay, so remember, we do need to find the vertex here. Okay, to do that, we're going to do our opposite of b over 2a. So b is 4, so opposite be negative 4 times 2 times negative 1. So negative 1 is our a value. So I have negative 4 over negative 2, which gives me a positive 2. I'm going to plug that into here. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. Notice we have a negative on that x squared, so we're going to have negative, then parentheses 2 squared plus 4 times 2, and then plus 2. So really be careful, especially when you see a negative on the outside. And let me show you how you're going to plug this into your calculator, okay? So we're going to do a negative first, then parentheses 2, then end your parentheses squared. Then we're going to have our plus 4, and then parentheses 2, and then we will have plus 2. Okay, so be careful. Notice that negative's on the outside. If you put it inside, then it's going to make it a different answer. So we get 6. Okay, so we get 2, 6 as our vertex. Okay, now we need to do our xy table to find the other points. So we pick two values, or two x values that are smaller, so that would be like 1 and 0, and then two x values that are bigger. Okay, I would say 1 and 0 are probably easier to plug into here to get your answer. So don't forget when you plug 1, you got to do negative, then parentheses 1 squared. Then we're going to have that plus 4 times 1, and then plus 2. So make sure how I have put it here, that you put this exactly into the calculator, just like this, okay? So when you plug that into there, we should get, so we get 1 squared, which gives us positive 1, then times the negative, so we get negative 1 plus 4, so that's 3, and then plus 2, that gives us 5. Now, plugging 0, that's always a lot easier, because you don't have to worry about negatives or positives. And remember, anytime we plug 0 in for x and we get our answer, that's going to be our y-intercept. So notice that our c value here is 2, so our y-intercept is going to be 0, 2. Okay, so don't forget that. Whenever you have your y-intercept in standard form, it's going to be 0 and whatever your c value is. Okay, so that means we have 5 and 2 here. Now, before we plot these points, let's talk about, is this graph going to open up or down? Hopefully you said down because our a value is negative. So is our vertex going to be a min or maximum? Hopefully you said maximum because it is going to be the highest point on our graph. Okay, so let's plot these points. So I have 2, then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I do 5. And then I go to 2 here. Okay, so now we need to figure out, is my parabola going to be dashed or solid? Well, notice here we do not have an equal bar on our inequality, so this is going to be dashed. So make sure this goes all the way off the graph. There you go. So we can do the correct shading. Okay, now our next thing is to do a testing point to figure out our shading. Now notice 0, 0, that is not on our parabola, and it's inside our parabola. So I'm going to use that as my testing point, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and plug. So notice x is going to be 0 and y is going to be 0. So I'm going to have 0 is less than negative 0 squared, and then plus 4 times 0 plus 2. So I'm going to have 0 is less than positive 2. Is that true or false? Hopefully you said it was true, okay? So since it's true, we are going to shade where the testing point is at. And so since 0, 0 is inside the parabola, we are going to shade inside the parabola. Okay, so make sure you get this down. So if you got to pause the video to write all of this down, make sure you go ahead and do so. Okay, let's shade inside. And that will be your final answer. Okay, make sure you work on your homework assignment, check your answers, and do that verification form. And if you have any questions, make sure to contact me. See you guys later.